Ladies and gentlemen, what it do? I am your host, Young Bo Easy. Welcome to the show, man. You are now tuned into the Knicks vibes. You know what we're here for, all right? Game against the 76ers, man. I'm coming at you quickly, man. We're going to try to do this quick show today, man. Give you a breakdown of what it is, man, and give you my thoughts. You already know how it goes down. Um, Game against the 76ers today, man. 119, 112. Knicks lose at the Garden, Christmas Day game. Going into this, at least on a personal level, my thoughts was, can we compete? And that was the trend, and is gonna be the trend. But I feel like today answered a lot of questions as far as can we compete. But there is definitely still some that need to be answered, and that's something we're gonna continue to break down as the show goes on. All right. The question is, can we compete? And I feel like we did that for the most part, and we kept it pretty consistent this game, man. There was some good games all around. Jalen Brunson ended up getting hurt at the end. We didn't close the game how we wanted to. We didn't close the game anything near how we started. I just feel like the main reason we lost this game is fourth quarter. We started hedging a little too hard on these screens, especially with Harden as the primary ball handler. And I don't feel like we were doing that, first half, first three quarters, let alone. You know what I'm saying? So it was just I felt like we stopped trusting the one-on-one matchup, which is pretty much Grimes for most of it. RJ had a little bit to do with that matchup, but it was mostly Grimes, and I felt like we stopped trusting that. And instead of just letting him go over these screens and work, which was crazy because when somebody was rolling, I hope I'm breaking this down the right way. When he was going off the screens and we would have to still stay on our man. When it would be like an Embiid rolling, we would stick with our man and just continuously run after him. But when it was somebody actually switching out, we were hedging too hard on the screen now. So I can understand if you're hedging too hard, and then there's a roll man and maybe some other guys on the weak side could clean it up for you. But like you got somebody who's popping out, which the Stars plays good on their end. Essentially, we lost to somebody nicknamed the Microwave. Ladies and gentlemen, George Niang tore us apart. And it was all because we was hedging on that too hard, the screens too hard. And Niang was just getting loose every time for an open three-pointer. It was just, I don't know how many three-pointers he had, at least three in the fourth quarter alone. Maybe four he hit, but essentially we lost this game to somebody named the Microwave. Don't get me wrong. Harden and Joel Embiid played a good game, but this dude closed the game out. He was definitely the X factor of this game today. All right, so I'm going to take you into the stats. Um, Tobias Harris, man, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 35, 8 and 1 for Joel Embiid, 29, 4 and 13 for James Harden. 15, 3 and 1, D'Anthony Melton. This dude couldn't miss in the first half. He was literally 5 for 5, and then he disappeared second half. I was thinking that was going to be the most of our problems, but you see George Niang, to finalize the sexy stats on their side, had 16 points and 2 rebounds, and the majority of that came in the fourth quarter. For the Knicks, man, you got 17, 10 and 4 for RJ Barrett. Had a bad shooting out, 6 for 21 to be exact. So we didn't get necessarily what we got from RJ, but I'm not too mad at that, and I'll explain why later. I'll explain why later. Uh, 10, 16 and 4 for Mitch Robinson, 10, 3 and 6 for Quentin Grimes, 23, 3 and 11 for Jalen Brunson, but then he kind of got hurt at the end. I believe it had something to do with his hip. And then 11, 1 to 1 for Emmanuel Quickly. But we still took this L, man. Got 112 points. We still putting a ball in the hoop, man. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you into the next segment of the show, man. The star of the show, the only person left, Julius Randle, man. Listen, you're going to have to guard me, man. That's pretty much what he's telling. everybody that's pulling up to these games right now, man. Continuously having these great first quarter starts. Uh, 35 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 for 24 from the field, shooting 50%, 4 for 9 at the 3-point line. Uh, Listen, he did what he had to do today. 25 points in the first half, and then you see 10 points, and I believe that there's a reason for that. You know, to score 25 points in the first half, uh, 10 points in the last 2 quarters, it, it's it just doesn't add up. All right, it just doesn't add up. So, ladies and gentlemen, to make this quick, man, because the bulk of the show for me is in the next segment. So I want you to feast your eyes on the star of the show. One last time, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Julius Randle gave us a great game today. This was an intense game. Definitely playoff atmosphere kind of vibes. You gotta love it, man. I'm just glad that we didn't get blown out. This wasn't one of those Christmas games that we get blown out. We in the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that matters for right now. Let's pick up the pieces. Uh, Takeaways, man. We here now. There's no point. That's the first takeaway. For me, there is no point in going to the playoffs if, and I'm gonna constantly continue to say this, man. There is no point if we continue to go into these games. Listen, with 3 minutes left, 4 of our 5 starters had already exceeded 35 minutes of play. With 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 4 of our 5 starters had exceeded 35 minutes of play. RJ Barrett had like 43 minutes tonight. Julius Randle 40 minutes. Mitch 29 minutes, so that's not too bad. You know, he has some foul trouble with Embiid. 39 minutes for Quentin Grimes, and then you got 35 minutes for Brunson. Brunson would have had more, but he sat down because of that little injury. There is no point in going to the playoffs, in my opinion, if we keep playing guys 43 minutes, one, for the whole season before we even get there. By the time there is no point. James Harden played heavy minutes. But Joel Embiid played 34 minutes and had 35 points. Why couldn't he do that? Scoring efficiently. A point a minute, pretty much. How can he do that? He's rested. Your star player can play 34 minutes and sit down 14 minutes. He gets to sit down for a quarter and 2 minutes. We do not have that luxury. And you could say these dudes is conditioned and all you want. I don't care. It will take a toll on you. I don't care who you are. Not everybody is built like LeBron James. It will take a toll. Only people exceeding the 34-minute mark on their team is Tobias Harris and James Harden. Other than that, everybody else played under 34 minutes. You got a beautiful mix of minutes of play when you look at the Philly side of things. But with us, you got, and then quickly gives you 22 minutes off the bench. Hartenstein 15 and 12. Those are not bad. But we need more. We got no production off the bench besides Emmanuel Quickly. We got 15 points off the bench essentially. 11 of them was Emmanuel Quickly in 22 minutes. We need more firepower coming off the bench. We need to rest our guys a little bit. These 40-minute games are going to add up. It's just plain and simple. It's plain and simple. Now the next takeaway is what more? What more? Like what more could you ask for? Right? We let them shoot a good percentage, but we were in the vicinity. We shot close to 50%. They shot 51% and 46% from deep. We shot 48% from the field and 38% from deep. But check this out. We had 30 assists to their 22. When it comes to this, they don't even matter. We held on to the ball, had under 10 turnovers. We had 8. 30 assists. That's phenomenal basketball. The rebound discrepancy, they got to do it like Joel Embiid. They had 32 rebounds and we had 46. 12 offensive boards to their 5. We're shooting good. We held on to the ball and we rebounded the ball. And we shot 82% from the free throw line today. What's the reason we lost the game? What's the reason we lost the game? Dudes, for the majority, like we started off, it was at a certain point in the fourth quarter, the point differential was 21-6. No legs. No legs. They're done. They are done. And we came through and finished it off 24-16. Cleaned it up a bit. At a certain point, it was 21-6, but the game was already won. The game was already won. So I'm not going to keep it all negative. The next takeaway, ladies and gentlemen, is money well spent. All right? Money well spent. Mitchell Robinson. We've played some legit teams with, some would say, legit centers. But why I mention this is because these were the guys that used to kill Mitch. If you look in his first 2 seasons, Sabonis would kill Mitch. He had a good game against him. And I'm not even just talking about statistically. Like today, he had a good statistical game. I believe 10 points, 16 rebounds. I'm just saying how he's defending these guys. Today, he played phenomenal defense on Joel Embiid. He played great defense on Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid took full advantage the second Mitch got out the game and started racking up free throws in the second quarter. It's after that he started to get hot. Once the second half started, he started piling up a couple more points. But he pretty much, I think he had 18 points or something like that going into halftime. He got the bulk of his points, and then after that, he just threw a little more seasoning on it. It was really James Harden and George Niang that finished the game off. And B didn't have much of a say. He pretty much carried them. Niang was able, D'Anthony Melton was able to knock some shots down. I feel like that's the only reason they were in the game in the first half. Other than that, the circulation was cut off. But we played some guys recently, and Mitch has been playing phenomenal defense on them compared to the years before. Vucevic is known as a Knicks killer. The first 2 games, he played a great game on Vucevic. Vucevic had an okay game that first time, but the defense is different, and I just want to say it's money well spent. And even the last game, Vucevic went off because he started hitting shots from the outside, but there's a difference in how Mitch is playing these guys in year, whatever, is it 4 or 5, compared to 1 and 2. And that's really, really good. And he's staying out of foul trouble. He's not necessarily fouling out of games at the rate that he was in his first 2 seasons. So that's also a good sign. I just want to say with that, money well spent, because he was definitely somebody that showed out today for us. And we needed his type of defense in this game. And we're going to need it continuously going against these other teams that are, at the top of the East. All right. And they also mentioned during the telecast that it was just every team that we're playing is mentioning, yo, Mitch Robinson. Like when you're talking about the scouting report, Mitch Robinson, like he's a game changer for them. Like just him being under there, even if he's not getting blocks, he's helping alter shots. He's getting these offensive boards. He's getting defensive boards. Like he's somebody that is a huge factor to this team, and we've been giving him his credit, but I just want to definitely make a whole just take away, uh, just give him a whole, not segment, but whatever you want to call it, man. I just had to give him his credit. All right, last one is no Leon Rose. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, wait a minute. Normally, this show says no Leon Rose slander. All right, that's the vibe normally. But make no mistake, today, this loss is on the front office. This loss is on the front office. So that includes Leon Rose. That includes World Wide West. That includes Scott Perry. This loss is on the front office. Because we know Tibbs is stubborn. We know Tibbs is stubborn. We know that 9-man rotation is not moving. And you talking about playing against heavyweights. Your starters cannot get no rest. The only person who got more than a quarter's worth of rest is Brunson, and he got Brunson and Mitch. And I told you, Brunson would have played more minutes if he didn't get hurt. We can't give these dudes a quarter. We can't give them 12 minutes worth of rest. I know Obi's out, but listen, we've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen Obi play 8 minutes and then not see the second half sometimes. We've seen it. It's just plain and simple. So the front office needs to do something. Obi needs to get healthy. When Obi gets healthy, he's going to get thrown back in there. Cool, that's fine. But we need somebody who is a 3-and-D. Because now you're not even playing McBride. McBride is getting 6 minutes of play. Somebody who was building his confidence, and now you're starting to take it away again. I felt like McBride could have kept playing in this game. Did he give you something offensively? All right, maybe not. But the whole second unit, I'm not going to blame that on McBride. You kept the rest of the second unit intact. You got Jericho Sims and Hartenstein in there. McBride is not the problem. He's not the problem. But you rather play these dudes heavy minutes instead of giving anybody a chance. They not resting, and now fourth quarter comes when it really, really matters. This game was close 3 quarters. We had the lead. They didn't take the lead until the fourth quarter, 98-101. After that, it was over. We never saw a lead again. It was over. We played 3 legit minutes, and in 1 quarter, they showed us that we're not supposed to be in the building with them. And there's no Maxey. They didn't have Maxey. That changes a lot. So you kind of go back to the can we compete question. I feel like we can, even if Maxey is included, but we need to play people at adequate minutes, and we need to bring somebody in here who's a 3-and-D, and when Obi gets healthy, hey, we got a full team. But your guys are getting rest. This is so vital. This is so vital. If we're keeping the bulk of this team intact and making a playoff push, the minutes that they're playing is so vital. I don't think people understand this. It's just, hey, that's what it is for me, man. That's my breakdown for today. Try to make it a quick show, man, but this is literally how I feel. That minute discrepancy, man, it's always been my number one bash towards Tibbs, and it always will be. We are not even in playoff games, and dudes are consistently playing 40 minutes. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. We always have somebody top 10 in minutes played, like or top at minimum top 15. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's my breakdown for today's game. We got the beginning of the Houston Triangle. Uh, and I believe the first one of them is, let's check here. We got the Mavericks. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need our lick back. They are the ones responsible, in my opinion, for um for the streak. You know what I'm saying? They helped us with this streak because they whooped us. Not only they whooped us at home, so we got to go home. And I'm expecting Julius to go over there and drop a minimum of 30 points once he gets his home cooking. All right, so we need our lick back, and Julius got to do work over there. And plus, I don't even think that they're better than us. In all honesty, I just felt like we didn't come to play. All right, and then after that, we got the Spurs and the Rockets, and then we go to Phoenix, and then got the Spurs again. So listen, I think of these next games, we could go 4 for 5. That's just me. I think we could go 4 or 5 at least. We should beat these Texas teams, no problem. And the Suns, that's a competitive game, so I'll leave that one up in the air. But I think we could at least go 4 for 5. All right, that's my breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. You already know who I be, man. Young, Bo, easy, love, gratitude, positive attitude. And I'll catch you on the next one.